What's up, everybody? Teeeker here. Today we're going to do a little time machine versus. And we're heading back to 1987, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Let's get it on!
Now, I know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out earlier. I believe it was 85. Anybody can correct me in comments. But in Teeker's world, I didn't know anything about them until 1987 when there was a cartoon. Now, these particular turtles right here, we're going to fast forward to 2012. I believe that was the third remake of the cartoon, because we had like Turtles 2003, where they did some time travel and things like that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are awesome. There are so many variations. There are so many things they've done. They have outdone themselves. Like this little line right here, these are like, I don't know if they're like samurai battle armor ones. But they are based off that 2012 line. Like Leo, he's got a quiver and arrows, and Raph's got claws on his arms, and Donatello's just got some armor. He does have his normal bow staff. And Mikey, he just got some armor too. But they all have got like war paint. So I don't know a whole bunch about the Ronin line. I don't know how old the Ronin line is, but I'm wondering if maybe that's what like the face markings and paint things like that are. So, but where it becomes a versus, we're gonna check out this knockoff sets. I'm not gonna say where I got them. They're pretty reasonably priced. I honestly didn't realize they were knockoffs till I got them, but they were reasonably priced enough where when I got them, I was like, you know what? I can do a video of this. These are pretty cool. They weren't super cheap where I expected them to be a knockoff, but they were very reasonably priced. So we're going to open these guys up. Again, they look like they are part of the model from 2012. That's why I got the 2012 guys out. So, Time Machine versus 1987 to 2012 to 2025 knockoffs. So let's open it up, check them out. The first thing, you know, when you get them in a package like this, there's no box, that's when you're first like, huh. So I imagine they were 3D printed by somebody. Actually look all right in 2 layers of plastic, but again, we're going to check it out and see what they look like. I said, doing much better using scissors because my knife safety is not good. So they are individually packaged. And again, I'm sure they were 3D printed by somebody. I'm not going to name the stores, but I'm really shocked that some of these big, giant, conglomerate, billion-dollar corporations allow people to sell on their sites, and then they'll sell you some knockoffs in a second. I thought I had bought a Venom Spider-Verse, and it was priced the same exact as a regular one, and it showed up, and it was like a 2-inch figure. So, all right, since Donatello's opened up, kind of already came open, we'll go and mess with him. Hey, actually, like I said, it's actually, you can tell it's 3D printed, but it seems to be put together pretty well. Gotta get used to my camera spot here. Not a whole lot of hip movement, but knees, no foot movement there. Shoulder movement, wrists do turn, head does turn. Let's kind of look at him compared to, and again, you know, there's not as much detail. You know, really where you can see it is the eyes and the chest, torso part of the shell, where the, you know, originals are made much better. You know, again, these are probably just 3D printed by somebody. And again, they were reasonably priced. So, and honestly, wasn't worth trying to fight the shipping to get them back. But like I said, I was pretty sure they were the 2012 line, and that's what they are. If you've never watched that cartoon is actually really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed all the Turtles. The most recent TV show is okay. I hadn't watched that as much because I can't get my son to watch it with me. All right, so we got our side-by-side Donnies, and I got a regular Raph, so we'll open Raph next. I guess the big thing is, again, you know, same movement areas. The heads aren't nearly as detailed. The sternum area, basically the shell. They're just as mobile as the actual originals. I do have an original Raph Psy, and they pretty much look the exact same. The newer one's a little shinier, the knockoff one. But it's, I mean, you can tell it's 3D printed off. So as I suspected, it is the exact same line that they use right here. And you know, honestly, if I didn't have this one laying around, I probably wouldn't have known any better. I probably would have been like, what's up going on with the shell right here? Because I don't have a whole lot of unboxed turtle stuff. Much as I like the turtles, I just hadn't really collected it much over the years because there are a lot of variations here. So, weapons right there. We'll check Donnie out. And I don't have a normal Donnie here. But I do got like this Samurai Ronin bow and arrow one. And that is Donnie, right? And they both got the white eyes. So they probably took these bodies and then these heads. Let me see the heads there. Yeah, it's the exact same head with kind of the teeth are glaring to the left a little. These are really cool. I need to figure out. I got these off Whatnot. I buy a lot of stuff off Whatnot really cheap. Now, the only downfall of Whatnot, a lot of times you get stuff really cheap and loose. You don't have a lot of the weapons. He didn't have any. And Raph had one side, and Donatello has Donatello has his bow staff. All right, we got two swords here. That might be the way you go about getting your weapons when you lose them. Now the hands are pretty stiff. Let me check the hands on these guys. Yeah, they're about the same. Again, in the world of knockoffs, these actually aren't bad. Like I said, I ordered a Venom vs. Spider-Man figure, Marvel Legends figure, and if you don't know anything about Marvel Legends, that Venom's supposed to be about 9 inches tall, and it was like 4. So, all right, let's move on to everybody's favorite turtle, Donatello. Not Donatello, what do I say? Michelangelo. Now, I don't have a Michelangelo nunchuck to compare, but the first thing I'm noticing, nunchucks don't move at all. That'll break it. I mean, it's not even gonna flex. It's gonna snap right in half when you move that. So that's negative number 1 right there for this guy. And honestly, if they'd paint their eye bands a little better, you know, like I said, they're pretty close. And again, I don't have vast experience with knockoffs, but I've had some people try to send me some junk that wasn't even close. And these are actually not bad. Like I said, the detail is a lot better, obviously. You know, this is probably somebody's garage where they're 3D printing. Like I said, some of the knockoffs I've got are been pretty disappointing. If you watch my Voltron video on Voltron Vehicle Force, you know, this guy was extremely disappointing. It was just, and it wasn't worth trying to send him back either. So I generally do a pretty good job of reading reviews, but sometimes we all know people can fabricate reviews and get on there and, you know, have ghost accounts and everything else. But, you know, our time machine battle versus here. The originals, obviously, there's no substitute for the originals. But in the world of knockoff, I think I paid like 15 or 16 bucks for all 4 of them. but they are serviceable. So, but you can't go wrong with the originals. Hope everybody enjoyed this. If I got anything wrong, please leave me a comment. Like I said, I like the Turtles, but I'm not. Over the years, as I've collected, I've been more into Star Wars and recently a lot into Marvel Legends and things like that. I love the Turtles, but man, there's 5,000 variations of Turtles. So, hope everybody enjoyed this. Have a wonderful day. Raph's the man. My first original toy my first original Ninja Turtle was a Raph. So he's my boy. Like I said, appreciate all you guys that watch me. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day. Teeeker out.